So Zombieland Double Tap is directed by Ruben Fleischer, who's the same director as the first film, and once again stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, along with some newcomers like Zoe Deutsch and Rosario Dawson. This movie takes place 10 years after the first one, and without spoiling much, is basically our main characters are still trying to survive Zombieland while there are some evolutions in the types of zombies. I was one of those people who really enjoyed the first Zombieland, and I still do. I watch it every once in a while, and I was really excited for this movie. I was curious if this movie was really going to live up to the first one or just not going to be as good. And I'm going to say it's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty entertaining. The main cast feels like the same characters, even though it's been 10 years. Their attitudes are still the same, and Fleischer really makes you feel in that 10-year gap as you get the sense that these four people have been living as a family, as you can tell through their interactions and just some of the jokes that they say. However, the newcomers are a mixed bag. Some of them are great, while others are kind of just used as a joke and then thrown to the side. Zoe Deutsch and Rosario Dawson are part of the better newcomers as they bring their own sense of humor and add a new dynamic to the Zombieland family. Speaking of humor, this movie was consistently funny. I found myself laughing throughout. I was really happy that the writers were able to capture that humor from the first movie and kind of elevate it for this one. The humor really carries you through in this movie as there were a lot of jokes in this movie. However, the plot is a different story. It felt like watching a shortened season of Zombieland instead of an actual movie. It was just like stories like from different characters that were kind of strung together. For the first 20 minutes of the movie, it didn't really invest me all too much because it felt like it wasn't really moving anywhere. But by the middle of the movie, it kind of picks up and it doesn't really stop until the end credits, which are, by the way, the mid and post credit scenes are really, really funny. There are also references and recreations from the first film, which is pretty nice for fans of the original. The action is also well handled, everything is in frame and easy to follow. There's a great long take fight scene in the second act that was really fun and shook things up a little. The final battle, however, is not as entertaining as the Playland fight from the first film, but the characters do carry you through with their jokes and just like your attachment to them over these two movies. So basically, if you enjoyed the first Zombieland, chances are you're going to be satisfied with this one, but just don't go thinking that this is going to surpass it in any way. So I'm going to give Zombieland Double Tap a 7.5 out of 10. This is actually the third zombie comedy I've seen this year after The Dead Don't Die, Little Monsters, and now Zombieland Double Tap. I would say like The Dead Don't Die is probably the worst out of the three, but that's still all right. Then Zombieland Double Tap, and then Little Monsters. I just think Little Monsters was this had a better story than this one. If this one had a good story, it would definitely surpass it. But I just think that one makes comedy and story a little bit better. But yeah, if you've seen Zombieland Double Tap, let me know down below. And those are my quick thoughts on Zombieland Double Tap.